It's time to get your geek on. My name is Nicolas Steiner, and I'm the director of Above and Below. So Above and Below is my graduation film. I was studying in San Francisco for a year, and I really wanted to do a film in the desert, because the desert is a little bit different than the mountains where I come from, and yet it's very similar in a way, because it's very archaic and raw. And I like that surrounding. So I was looking for people that live in the desert, and I came across 3 words: cowboys, ghosts, and aliens. And that's kind of my over thing that I tried to look for. So I found a guy in the desert in California. I found people that live under the city of Las Vegas, and I found an organization that simulates life on Mars, which is called Mars Desert Research Station. So the film is about those people that live there, out in the desert, in the nowhere. And I hope I created a cinematic experience so you can dive in for 2 hours and really, I tried to use the whole screen and try to use every speaker that is in the cinema. So yeah, please feel free to dive in and have an experience called Above and Below. Well, this documentary definitely changed my life. It didn't only change the life for me as a filmmaker or my crew, it also changed the life of the heroes itself that are in the film. And that's something, of course, you're always hoping for, but you never know if that's going to happen. So, for example, the couple who was in the tunnels lives now in South Padre Island, and they're clean. The guy in the desert now has contact with his family that he didn't talk to for 15 years. So the film changed something. And by changing, I also mean, of course, the film has been traveling now a bit in festivals and got some awards, and that's, of course, that changed our lives in a way and brought us a step further. But it was also a huge process, because if you're working 4 years on something and like you edit for 10 months and you have teachers who constantly like fight with you for things and you kind of have to strengthen your vision, that kind of almost helped me, because it made me really think of what I really want to do and what I really want to fight for. So as long as you're passionate, and I think that's all what it takes at the end, like a huge passion to do this thing. And I also see filmmaking always also as a physical thing, as an adventure, and that's what I like to do. That's why I also love doing documentaries in this sense, because when you see a snowstorm in my film, that means that the whole crew is in a snowstorm. So that's something that physically was really challenging, and I learned a lot from that. Beside that, going through the whole process also after the film is done, by finding distributors, going to festivals, winning an award or not, that's also a huge experience that helped me to develop into my new steps and also kind of start my new projects. So overall, a lot of tears and sweat, but totally worth it, and I can't wait to work on my new stuff. It's my first time at Atlanta Film Festival. It's also my first time in Atlanta, and it already started by flying in from Switzerland. I went through Washington, came into Atlanta, and when I looked out of the plane, man, it's so green here, it's crazy. I knew it's kind of the southern, it reminded me of, but then it was so green, so I really liked that. And the people are just very warmly welcoming, which I really needed after like a cold winter in Europe. So I felt very comfortable and very home right the minute I got in here. The screening was great, the theater is great, like great sound system, great image, so I was really happy about that. And the feedback was amazing. It's very nice as a filmmaker, when you're on stage, you can talk to the people, and then you get out and then you see people that, I don't know how to describe, their eyes are sparkling, and then you kind of know that you hit them, so you know that you guys, they speak the same language, and it's a very good feeling because it motivates you to keep on fighting for your visions. And even it took me 4 years to make the film, to kind of believe in my projects and go on and do another film, even though, not everyone thinks the same about the film, of course, but you kind of pick out those people that really have the same feeling for the film that you have, and that's a great feeling, and I did have that here in Atlanta, so I'd love to come back here. If you guys want to follow us, you can follow us on Facebook. Find us under Above and Below Film. There you can see that even the heroes and we as a crew post some stuff on it. We kind of keep you updated where the film is being screened. In 2 weeks, on the 15th of April, we have the cinematic release in the US, in New York, and then we will go to the West Coast and to smaller towns in the beginning of May. Other than that, yeah, keep following us there. And I don't know if, we have a vinyl soundtrack a vinyl that came out with the soundtrack. If you're interested in that, it's from a Berlin-based 3 guys that are called Paradox Paradise. So we brought that out just for fun because there's a lot of music in the film. And if you enjoyed the music, it's kind of indie, I don't know, indie rock mixed European style stuff. If you're into that, let us know and we can ship you and send you a vinyl record. Thank you for coming to the film and thank you for supporting us, and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you. Democracy through documentary.
They have their own stores, their own laws, their own way of life down there.
Everything that I get on my own, and I make on my own. I know how to survive.
Almost forget that you're in a tunnel.
Nobody comes through here. How big's the universe? Looks pretty big to me.
Where are you located?
I really want to go to Mars. I want to see as much as I can see, even if it is risking my life.
You have to respect the person's place where they consider a home, whether it be a hole or a mansion. I guess for now I consider this a home.
Most people don't pay attention to the little things. We still kiss all the time.
I think I'd make friends there on Mars. I don't know that I'd feel lonely. For the first time in my life, I feel like I'm not running from something.
I will never personally get to Mars, but I'm here to help maybe fulfill someone else's dream.
Come on, man, you gotta believe there's something more than just this. Neep, sheep, nick, knock, ip, nick, noop. Sounds like French.